Hey there internets, I'm Michael and this is Toucan Play That Game, bringing you our playthrough of Roll for the Galaxy. Now if you still need to learn how to set up and play the game, please check out our previous video that will teach you all of that. With that out of the way, let's take it to the table for a game of Roll for the Galaxy. So I've set up here a two-player game, so let's just get rid of the screen as that's just blocking view. So we've got our phase tiles here, our dice for the phase selection, our victory points in the centre here that we have available, which is 24 for a two-player game. Then we've got our phase selection strips for each player, our dice in our cups, and our dice on worlds and in our citizenry. And then we've got our construction zone populated. And we've got our starting tableau here with our faction tile and our starting homeworld. And of course we start on 1 credit. So what's out of shot is the bag of tiles I have taken out of shot because it's large and doesn't fit very nicely in the shot. Also all the dice, all these spare dice are just off to the side, out of shot. So playing with me today as the red player over the opposite side, so very much you're going to be focused on what I'm doing and getting to see what I'm doing rather than seeing what the red player is doing. And the red player will be Rogue. So I'm going to be the blue player here and we'll get straight on with the game. So we roll. So here are the dice that I have rolled. Let's move on to the assigning stage. So let's see, we have, let's move this up a bit. Got this blue dice as an explore, got 2 develop dice and 1 produce. Now, because of my starting faction tile, I will actually gain $1 for each blue good on a world at the end of this phase. So if I do produce. So it's in my interest to produce and get goods on here in order to get money. And it helps that I have actually got 2 blue worlds at the moment. So producing is good for me. So it's good that I've got a dice there. And I would like to develop the hydroponics one because it would allow me to reassign cyan, so the blue dice, so I can get them producing when I need to be. So it's good to have 1 in develop there, but I definitely don't need the other one. Now, Explorer is always useful to get more dice. So I want to ensure that I produce with this. So I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to leave these here, and one of them will unfortunately end up going back into my cup. So I'm not using dictate to do any reassign. So then it is time for us to reveal. So I selected produce. So we will be doing that. Rogue selected develop. So we'll be doing that. And then we roll the dice and we get ship. So we'll be doing 3 of the phases in this first round. So we won't be exploring, so any explore dice will go back in our cups. We'll be developing, we won't be settling, so settle dice go back in the cups. And that is all the dice put back that need to be. So first thing we do is develop, so Rogue will put 1 on her development, which is enough to complete it. And what she has completed is advanced logistics. So when exploring, she may rearrange all the tiles in her construction zone. And because that was completed, the dice went into her citizenry. And I then have 2 dice, so first one will go onto my hydroponics guild to allow me to reassign. So that will be a useful ability going forward. The other one I can't use, so goes back in my cup. Then I have this white dice that I can produce with. So it will go on this blue world here. Now, because of my power, oh, sorry, I forgot to do Rogue's power when we did the develop phase, which was she gained $1 for each novelty dice in her citizenry, which she had one, so she should have gained $1 for that. And then going back to where we were, so we've just completed our produce, which means because of my planet, my faction, I gain $1 for each novelty on a world. So I gain $1. And then shipping, no one has any workers assigned to shipping, so we move on. So the next stage of the round is manage empire. So first thing we do is spend credits to recruit workers. So I have 2 credits, so I can get 2 dice back into my cup. Rogue also has 2, so she can get 2 back into her cup. And she's going to get a red and a white. Then we can each recall any workers that we wish to. And then we reset our phase selection tiles. Then we check the end game. We've still got our victory points there and no one has 12 tiles. So we move on to the next round, starting with our rolls. And then we assign them. So really I need to be shipping in order to clear off more of these worlds, or exploring in order to get new tiles out. So because of my hydroponics, I'm going to do a reassign of 1 novelty cyan dice to any phase. So I'm going to reassign that to shipping. And then I'm going to use this develop dice that's doing me no good. And I'm going to use that to select shipping to ensure that it happens. Now, settling's not very much use to me at the moment because I'm not interested in this brown world. So I'm also going to use my dictate power to move a dice into explore. And we reveal. So Rogue has selected explore, so we'll be doing that. I selected ship and the dice selects produce. So any unused dice, well, Rogue has 1 on settle, so that'll go back in her cup. And mine are only in explore, but I do have 1 that I used for reassign. So we do the explore phase. So first things first, normally you would be doing this simultaneously, but I'm going to do them 1 at a time, and Rogue is going to search for a tile. And she's actually going to abandon this green world. She's not particularly interested in that. So we sit it underneath the phase tile, and that means that she can use this dice to draw 2 tiles. And she's going to put them both on the development side in her construction zone. Then the other dice she's going to use to stock and get 2 credits. Then for my explore, I'm going to abandon this tile and draw 2. So first tile I've drawn, we have here the alien robot scout ship on one side, which will give yellow dice and $1. And on the other side, we've got galactic recycling. So develop or settle phases, plus $1 after completing each development or world. So that's quite useful. I think I'd rather have that than the yellow dice. And then the other one we've got here is Galactic Survey Headquarters, which will gain a novelty cyan, and again that's more blue worlds, which is useful for my producing plan. And the other side, develop all developments after this one require one fewer to complete, but not fewer than one. So yeah, I'm going to go with the development for the galactic recycling and the galactic survey headquarters. So that's explore done. Produce, no one has any workers assigned to. Ship, Rogue is going to use her red dice to ship her blue dice off of Pilgrimage World. And she will be doing a consume, which will get her 2 victory points. Because it's a blue world and one of the dice was blue. I'm going to use 1 to do a consume on Earth's Lost Colony, which will gain me 3 victory points. And I'm going to use 1 to do a trade, which gains me $3. And that is then the reveal phase done. So we move on to managing Empire once more. So first thing we do is recruit. So Rogue has $3 and she's going to go for the red dice. And 2 of the white. I have $4. I'm going to get 2 blues and 2 white. We then reset the tiles here. And we haven't yet met the end condition, so we move on to the next round with rolling dice. And then we assign the dice. So at the moment, the dice want, 2 of them want to settle, 1 wants to develop, oh, and 2 can be anything. Well, I would very much like to do some settling and to do some producing. So if I put those question marks under produce, what I could do is 1 under ship, 1 under produce. So I'm going to go for that. Okay, so reveal time. So Rogue has selected to develop, and I selected to produce, and the dice selects to ship. So Rogue's dice that were in explore go back in her cup. My dice on settle go back in my cup. And then we'll do the develop phase first. So Rogue manages to build another development. Which will mean that she's gaining a credit each time she develops after this. But because of her faction, at the end of the develop phase, she gains 1 credit for each cyan dice in her citizenry, which she has 2, so she'll gain 2 credits. And then we move on to the produce phase. So I'm going to produce on both these planets. And then because we've done the produce phase, I gain $1 for each novel cyan good on a planet, so I gain $1. I then may do a ship action, and I'm going to ship this cyan dice, which will gain me 3 more victory points. And so that's all the phases done. We then do our recruit. I only have $2, so I'm going to recruit my 2 cyan dice. Rogue has $3. She's going to recruit her 3 white dice. Then we can recall any that we wish to recall, which I don't want to do. And then we reset our phases. check for end of game, which we're not at yet. And then we move on to the next round. So we start with rolling. So, got a lot of producing going on. One random, one explore. Now, I only have one planet I can produce on. So, there's no point me having that in there. So, I might use that to select No, I really want to produce, and in the hopes that ship comes up, I'll go there. And that would just go back to my cup. I'd rather reassign that to settle in the hope that that might come up. Actually, I'm going to reassign that to ship so that I can do double ship if the opportunity arises. So we reveal, and surprise, surprise, Rogue has selected develop again, and I have selected produce, and the dice selects cocked, and the dice selects explore. So unfortunately, all these dice I put into shipping will just go back in my cup, and Rogue will actually be gaining all of her workers this time. So let's start with exploring. I haven't got any to do, so we'll just jump straight into Rogue. So first thing she's going to do is abandon this tile here and draw 2. So she's actually going to abandon both the tiles she drew and then draw 3 using her last dice. So she's going to place 2 on settle, which the top one there will give her a cyan dice for 1. And then this other one she is going to place as a development, and it will cost 6+, and she'll add half of total base reassign power development costs rounded up at the end of the game. And it'll allow her to reassign 1 or 2 non-white workers to any phase. And then we do develop. So Rogue will put her 2 dice on that new development. And because we've done develop, she'll gain 2 credits for her blue dice in her citizenry. Then we do produce. So Rogue only has the 1 planet she can produce on, so she'll go there. And my blue dice I'm going to put on the blue planet there. Then we manage our empire. Now, I only have $1, so I can only get 1 dice. Rogue has $3, so she's going to get the 2 white because she wants to leave the cyan ones in there. And then we reset these phases. And we're still not at the end of the game, so we carry on. So we move on to our roll phase yet again. And then our assign phase. So I'd quite like to ship this time because I've got 2 on there. But I'm also happy if we end up doing settle. So I think I will move this develop dice to select ship to ensure we do that, and that will work out nicely. So then we reveal, and Rogue has selected develop yet again. She seems to really like developing. And I've selected ship, and the dice will select ship. So we're only doing 2 phases, settle's not one of them, so I can get rid of those dice into my cup. So develop, Rogue will put 2 dice into this development here, and then she'll gain 2 credits for her cyan dice here. Then shipping, and she will ship this good off of this planet here, and she will trade so that she gets free credits. And I will do the same with this white good to get me free credits. But with this cyan one, I'm going to consume it. So I'll get free victory points. And then recruiting in our management phase, I have 4 this time, so I'll get 2 blues and 2 whites. Rogue has 6, but she doesn't have the dice there, and she'd actually quite like to leave those cyan ones there, so she's just going to get the 2 dice. Although, no, she's going to get all 4, because she might get the cyan ones back in time for the develop phase anyway. And then no one's recalling anything. We reset the phases. We've still got victory points. No one has 9 tiles. So we're on to the next round with our rolling. Rolling. So we have, for our assign phase, 2 explore, 1 produce, 1 develop, 1 settle, 1 ship. So we've got pretty much a bit of everything going on. However, what I'd really like to be doing is producing. So I'm going to select to settle, and I can reassign 1 blue dice as I wish. So I'll assign that to produce. And then we reveal. So Rogue has selected, oh what a surprise, develop again. And I selected to settle, and the dice will select to explore, which isn't in my favour. Very good for Rogue. So let's return unused dice, so we're not shipping or producing. Very bad for me. So Rogue exploring. So she's gonna abandon that tile there. So she'll draw 2 tiles, and she's going to hide these under her existing development. And then she's going to stock and get 2 credits. And we move on to develop. So I have the 1 dice that will go onto there. And Rogue has 2 dice that will go onto here and will complete it. And after completing each development, Rogue gains a credit. And these will all go to her citizenry. And then at the end of the develop, she gains $1 for each cyan dice in her citizenry. So she gains another $2. And then we do our settle. So I get to put 2 on this planet here, which will complete it. So they'll go to my citizenry. And that gains me a cyan dice. So another one of these little blue ones to my cup. And that's all the phases done. So we do our recruit. I only have $1, so I'll get 1 white dice. Rogue has 7 she can spend, but so she'll spend all 7. And then recall. No one's going to recall anything. And then we reset the phase tiles here. And we check for the end of game. And no one's met the end game condition yet. So we have another round. Starting with rolling. So we got lots of producing, a bit of shipping, and a tiny bit of development. I think what could work nicely here is to balance the shipping and producing. Now, Rogue isn't going to pick either, so I need to ensure that I do produce this turn. So I'll select produce and leave my dice like that. And then we reveal. So Rogue has selected, surprise, surprise, developing again. And I've selected to produce. So we've very much got our individual game plans going on, and that's cock dice. There we go, produce. So we won't be shipping, so that can go away. We won't be exploring or settling, so those can go away. So we start with develop. So Rogue first, just going to get 3 on there, which will complete that. So this means that at the end of the explore phase, she gets to draw and keep an extra tile. If she scouted with at least 1 alien technology explorer, she'll also gain $1. And it's worth 3 points. And it means that she now has 7 tiles. Now, she's still got 1 dice in develop. Oh, and because she completed something, she gains $1. And then she's completed another one. And this one is terraforming. So this applies when settling, she'll gain credits. And puts her up to 8 tiles. Now it's the end of develop. She's got 2 blue dice here, so she gains 2 credits. And of course she gained credit for completing that development as well. I have 1 dice, which will go on here and complete this one, which will mean that I will gain $1 each time I complete a development or a world, not including this one. And then we produce. Rogue doesn't have anything to produce. At the end of the produce stage, I gain $1 for each good on a novelty world at the end of this phase. So that's $3. And then we do our recruit. So I have 4 to spend. So I'll recruit all 4 of these white dice. Rogue has 5. So she'll recruit all 5 dice that she has there. Then we reset our tiles here because no one's recalling. And we check for endgame, which we don't hit yet. So, on to the next round, rolling our dice. Okay, so assigning, we've got produce, we've got develop. Oh, that's not great. I really wanted to be shipping this turn, not developing. So I really want to ship. So I'll select ship. I can reassign this due to my hydroponics. And I'll do a reassign using that. So that'll give me the free shipping I need. And that's me done. And reveal. Rogue has gone for explore and I've gone for ship. And the dice goes for develop. Oh, Rogue's so lucky with that. So lucky. Okay, so let's get rid of any unneeded dice. 2 cups. So we'll start with explore. I've not got anything to do, so we'll just resolve Rogue here. And she's going to abandon that tile. So she'll draw 2. And she'll keep that one. She'll abandon another one and use another dice. So she's drawing 2 again. She'll keep 1, abandon 1, use a dice to draw 2 more. And she'll put these under here and use the last one to stock, gaining her 2 credits. Then develop. My dice goes in my cup. I don't have anything to develop. Rogue will put 3 onto this card here. which means that she's not going to gain her money. Interesting. And then ship, this will go back into her cup for Rogue. For me, I'm going to ship a white with a white to get 3 credits. I'm going to ship a blue with a blue to get 3 victory points. And then I'll ship this blue with a white to get another 2 victory points. So then recruiting, I can buy 4 dice. So Rogue can buy 3. No one's got anything they're going to recall. So we reset these phase selectors. And we're not at the end of the game, so we once more roll. And looks like might be doing some exploring. Got a bit of producing, a bit of shipping there. So I'm going to ensure that I produce. And then I'm going to hope for a shipping to happen. So I'm going to use that to reassign one. And then we reveal once more. So obviously I selected to produce, Rogue selected to develop, and the dice selects settle. So we won't be shipping, so those can go back in the cups. And we won't be exploring, so that can go back in the cup. So develop, Rogue uses 1 dice and completes this development here. That is another reassign one, so she's got something that will give her bonus points for reassigns. And she'll be able to reassign 1 or 2 workers to the phase she selects. And she now has 9 tiles. And then this other dice will go on to the next onto the next development there. Now producing, I have 3 dice and 3 worlds, so it's a very simple matter to put those on there. And then because produced and I've got goods on 3 cyan worlds, I will gain $3. And of course for developing, Rogue gained 1 for completing the development and 2 for her cyan dice there. So we move on to managing our empires. So I've only got 2 dice I can get, so I'll spend 2 to get those. Rogue will spend all 4 to get 4 dice. And no one is going to recall anything, so we then reset our phases, check for the wing condition, which no one's met yet, and then carry on to the next round. So we start with rolling. So we've got a few dice come up on explore, bit of settle, bit of produce, bit of ship. Now I would really like to do some shipping here, so I can reassign this one for free, so I'll do that. And then I'll use this settle dice to select a ship, and 3 is all I need to ship everything there, and explore might be useful if that happens to come up. And then we reveal, surprise, surprise, Rogue is developing again. I am shipping, and the dice says shipping. So these explore dice will go back in the cup, and that's it. So on to developments. Rogue's going to use these 2 dice to complete this development here, which is her 10th tile now, and she gains $1 for completing that. And it's yet another reassign one. But it'll only trigger if she has the most cyan worlds, which she doesn't. But it will still give her bonus points at the end. Then these other 3 dice will go on this next development here. Then she will gain 2 credits for her cyan dice in her citizenry. And then shipping, I will ship cyan with a cyan on a cyan, so that will gain me 3 victory points there. So I'll do a white and a white to get 3 credits, and a white and a blue to get 2 victory points. And that's the end of the phases, so we do our recruiting. So I'm going to get 5 dice, and Rogue can get 4 dice, which is all she's got there. And then no one's recalling, so we reset these phases. And it's not end game yet, but we're very close. So we roll for the next round. And we reveal, and surprise, surprise, yet again, Rogue develops, I produce, and the dice is cocked, and the dice is shipping. Yes, so that is fantastic for me, and this could well be the last round. So let's start off with getting rid of any dice to the cups that are for unused rounds, so we're not exploring. Okay, so first things first, we will develop. So 4 on there will complete that, giving Rogue $1. And this has an immediate ability, so we need to remove 1 dice and gain 2 cyan dice. And that of course means she's on 11 developments. And she's going to remove a white dice and gain 2 cyan to her cup. Now, complete end of the development phase, so she gains $2. So she gains $1. She's only got 1 dice in there now. But that's fine, because that'll give her enough to get all of her dice back. So next, let's do produce. So I've got 3 goods for the 3 worlds, and that'll gain me $3. Then we ship. So I will ship cyan with a cyan, which will gain me 3 victory points. So because we've now run out of victory points, that will mean this is going to be the last round. But according to the rules, we have a stash of 10 victory points that are just for the purposes of finishing this round. So this is just for finishing this ship phase so that I can get some more, basically. And this is rules, it's not just me fudging it so that I maybe win. And I've got 1 more dice, so I'm just going to use it to consume here, gaining me 2 more victory points. And then that's the end of the phase, so we just get rid of these extras here. So we do our recruiting, although there's not much point, but it will affect if there's a tie for number of dice in the cup, etc. So 4 will get me those, 3 will get Rogue those. We then recall, so no one's recalling anything. And we reset our rounds. There we go. And then we check game end. So we have finished the victory points. So that was one of the game end conditions met. So it is the end of the game. Rogue was very close to finishing it on tiles, as you can see. So we just now need to total up our scores. So let's do Rogue first. So Rogue has 2 victory points. Then for worlds, she's got another 2, so that's 4. a 3 for her pilgrimage, so that's 7. So she's on 7 so far. Now let's do her developments. So she's got another 2, so that's 9, 1, 10, 1, 11, 3, 14, 4, 18, 21, 22, 28, 32. So that's a huge score, 32. But it's not over yet, because she has this 6+ development here. That means she adds half of her total base reassign power development cost, rounded up. So this is a reassign power, any with these symbols here. So this is another 3 points for this one. So that's 35. Another 2 for this. So that's 37. And then another 2 for this one, meaning she's on 39 points. So big well done to Rogue, 39 points. So I have I have 24 victory points here. So 26, 27, 30, 34. So I ended the game, but I only have 34 and Rogue has won with 39. And that is Roll for the Galaxy. Well done to Rogue, you beat me. And I do hope that you, the viewers, have enjoyed this playthrough. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, please do check out the rest of the videos on the channel, subscribe to the channel, and also share the channel with your friends and family. Also, do check us out on social media. We are on Facebook and on Twitter. And as always, thanks for watching and bye for now.